My
That's
parents are
good.
at least paying you well for this, dude. And how much is Rolf getting a cut of?
Yeah, dude, but Ralph can't get what he doesn't know about, you know?
It's like from the We're the Millers when they go like, "You're getting paid." What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the Hardstuck podcast. I'm Joe, and I'm joined by the two saddest co-hosts of all time, Garen and Ben. If you're wondering why I said saddest and not greatest, that's because these two morons do not have a team at Champs this year. Cloud9 is out, Cloud9 is not subliners anymore, and I don't know who they're going to be supporting because they don't have Hydra anymore. So, sad.
Damn.
But
Yo, the call out's crazy.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Bring me subliners. Bring me Hydra.
Hey,
I miss it.
Yo.
all I know was last year when my LA Thieves were going through a rebuild, you guys were tuning us the whole time. At least we still made champs. You guys couldn't even make champs.
Yeah, but we had
Yeah.
no one on our roster though. Yeah.
Same. Besides going
You
Yeah,
had
through
a
Ghost
better
Deep.
people. Didn't you have Joe Deceives?
Yeah, but I mean, Joe Deceives got benched for like 2 majors last year because he was still developing and stuff.
Well, he clearly wasn't good enough then.
Well, yeah, then, but now he's the GOAT. But yeah,
He's dominating, brother.
before we get into things, let's check Garen, Ben, how you guys doing?
I'm good. I'm just excited to see FaZe crumble again in champs. Yo, I doubt they're making finals.
Ben, are you gonna let him speak about your second team like that?
Hot says FaZe, head says Thieves. You know what I'm saying, wrong boy. No, I'm looking forward to see what happens, but I asked ChatGPT, who was going to win champs. It gave me a bit of a breakdown. The odds are on Thieves, and I asked them why does FaZe start off so well in the beginning of the season and then fall off towards the end. And they said, early meta grasping, good coaching, their mental blocks, and not adjusting in the mid-season, So it's looking a bit scary out there, but we'll try our best.
Yeah, if the AI doesn't have any faith, then you must be worried, Ben. Okay, so I mean, obviously we had Major 4 last weekend, and before we go into like specifics and stuff, I just want to know like how was everyone's general reaction to it? Did it go the way we expected? How did everyone enjoy the event? Are we happy that Thieves went back to back? Because I mean, I'm over the moon, but I don't know what you guys are thinking.
I'm quite disappointed that Surge went out so early.
Yeah,
I was hoping
that was a big shocker for sure.
Yeah, and they lost to Falcons, right? Like, yeah,
it's pretty disgusting. But I don't know. I thought it was good. I mean, obviously, I'm really happy because I think Thieves have like finally reached their final form. And although we came out a bit flat against Heretics and lost them. I mean, that was also because Scrap called in a gunship and got trapped in his animation. So that was, yeah. So when we dropped down to losers, I was a little bit worried, but then we bounced back really hard. I mean, going back to back is quite impressive. I mean, I know FaZe did in the first 2 majors, but I would rather start or end the season stronger than I started.
Oh, damn straight.
And so I'm really confident going into champs. And then I don't know, I thought it was a good weekend in terms of upsets and stuff. I mean, obviously Surge going out, Falcons getting a win actually. Like that was pretty crazy. And then I mean there's a lot of trash talk and stuff. I'm sure you guys saw about like Super and Scrap, like almost like boxing, bro. That trash was crazy. So I thought it was a good major. I enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to champs. Ben?
It's great to see Miami performing, especially when I have Super on my fantasy team.
That hasn't been a good part of my Call of
fantasy
Duty
has been so easy, like I predicted from the start. But I don't know, seeing FaZe make finals again but not win it is always worrying, and especially when it comes to the end of the year, because that seems to be the trend, and it will be very difficult to keep this team together. And not let it impact their legacy if they don't get this win, if they don't win champs. Thieves would have done really well if they do win it, and they probably have the best odds to win it.
As they should.
But I also have a feeling that like Ultra and Optic will probably do better in this major. I hope they pull themselves together and place a little higher. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get into that later when we speak about our champs predictions and stuff and think about how we feeling the teams are going into champs. But yeah, we'll speak about that later.
Oh, I do want to say, I think Surge has been a very overrated team from the beginning, with being maybe mastering the metas from early on, but then also having maybe a bit of a different play style to other teams. And now that other teams have caught up, I think they've locked them down a bit more. And I mean, I think Neptune was the driving force, and I do think Abuza and O4 and who's the other guy, Nasty. I think they all have, those three players especially have been overrated. I don't think they're as good as people keep praising them to be. I think they're a very average team.
I don't think Abuza is overrated.
Yeah.
I think O4 and Nasty, I think after the second major, they should have traded O4. They should have replaced him.
Because he's bottom. He's not rated that highly. He doesn't do that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be a little bit concerned, but I also think we shouldn't overreact to one major. I mean, we know, Ben, in the Cold War season, in Major 5 going into champs, FaZe came top 12. Like, they played really badly. And
but didn't they place poorly in the last one too?
I know it's a different type of... No, they came second to Thieves last time in Major 3.
Oh, okay.
It's not like they've completely fallen off. I mean, outside of FaZe and Thieves, they've had the best results this year. So, I mean, obviously they need to work on some stuff and figure it out going into champs. But I wouldn't overreact saying they're overrated and they like don't have a chance and they should have made changes. I think they've been the third best team in the league since Major 2.
Well, a rational person would agree with you, but I'm going to stick with my guns and say overrated.
Okay, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later when we speak about COD Champs predictions and stuff.
Can I just make this last point quickly?
Yeah,
I feel like Surge have been in that solid third best team spot. I think, when they verse FaZe, it's quite heads or tails between who's going to win. But I feel like there was such a distinct gap between Surge and LA Thieves that if they wanted to win, I think they would have. It's easier to bet on replacing the bottom frag, you know?
No, I do
and
agree.
Hope that's
I do agree,
line.
But I mean, the problem is I feel like because there's so much talent concentrated in FaZe and Thieves that there's always that gap. And I don't really think there's that much else that people could have done to like take over from that. But yeah, okay, cool. So I think the first thing we're going to do is I've come up with some awards. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, and we're going to go through them and just chat about which players, which teams we think win those awards post Major 4 going into champs. So the first award that I came up with was the Can You Help Me Flush Award. And so this one is just pretty easy. It's whichever team put up the biggest stinker at the major and really needed some help out there. So, I mean, we've touched on it a little bit, but I don't know. Who do you guys think was the biggest Can You Help Me Flush team of Major 4?
Who placed the worst? You see.
I feel like, Joe, if you said for the whole season, I would say it's between Falcons and LAG.
Yeah.
But just for
Major 4. Just for Major 4. What are we thinking?
Yo, I think it has to be the Gentlemates. You know? Kismet.
But they at least won a series though. Yeah. They beat your sad little team, Cloud9, dude.
I think I'd say Surge.
I agree. And for me, it has to be Surge.
Terribly considering how well they should be doing.
Exactly. So the other two teams that I sort of argued in my head were Ravens, because they also got a top 12 finish and they were 1-4 in the qualifiers, and they just seem to continually be going down in terms of their regression. And then the other team I had, unfortunately, was also Cloud9, because I mean they actually did all right in qualifiers and they actually made winners, but then they went on to lose both matches instantly and get top 12 at Major 4,
Can't
which
be
is,
doing
and
that.
everyone was hoping they were going to make a run and maybe somehow clinch champs, and that was just, obviously dreams, and they were shattered. But I do agree, it has to be Surge. I mean, they're coming off 2 back-to-back second places, and they get absolutely washed by Thieves in the 3-0 and winners round 1, and then they drop down to verse Falcons, and they lose against Falcons. And I mean, that they
Should
only
not be losing to Falcons.
Exactly, and Falcons had 2 wins on the season prior to that, and now Surge gave them their 3rd. So I think it has to be Surge, because I mean, and just in terms of expectations and what we expect from Surge compared to where they came, that has to be a stinker and a half.
It's like if Anthony Edwards got first rounded, face of the league, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, lucky you didn't though, so that's good.
Luckily.
Okay, so we all in agreement? We think Surge wins the Can You Help Me Flush award?
Yeah, flush them down the toilet.
Okay, so the next one is the Don't Take Me Out, Coach, I Can Still Race award. And this is for the team that, I don't know, they're going to champs. They're in the running, technically. They're at champs. But they actually have no chance of actually doing anything. And they are so far out of the race already, they just haven't realized it yet. So I don't know which team we want to put this to. I have 2 teams in my head, but Garen, Ben, I don't know if you guys have thoughts on which team.
Can we give this to Carolina? Because I think most of the players should be retiring in any case.
Retiring is mad. But no, I also do agree, because I mean, I think the 2 I had in my head, because obviously only 8 teams go to champs, and so the 2 I had in my head were like Boston and Carolina. But like Boston, although I think their ceiling is top 6, like sometimes they can surprise you. While Carolina,
they get hot sometimes. They get really hot sometimes.
Since Minor won when they came second, they've just steadily declined and haven't looked back. And they obviously switched up with Vivid, and they put Dylan Rex in and stuff, but it hasn't translated. They've just gotten worse and worse placings. And I think if they hadn't have placed so well in Major 1, I don't think they'd be going to champs. And I realistically don't think they have a chance of making a run at champs. So, yeah, I think they should be taken out of the race, no matter how badly Slasher wants to fight and carry on going.
Carolina is closer to the bottom teams than it is the other 7 teams that have made it into champs.
Statistically, or is that just your feeling, Ben?
That's just the feeling I got in my bones,
No, but
I mean, look at how they perform. Look at how they performed. Recently.
Okay.
Especially times that matter. Like when they do come to land, they haven't done nearly as well as they should.
100%. But yeah.
Isn't Slasher like 40 and he's carrying the team?
He's post 30s.
Yeah.
Sure. But he had a rough.
Got that arthritis soon.
Okay, so well done, Carolina. You win this award. Let's go to the next one. So the next one I have is the Thumbless Award. So this is the person that turned up to Major 4. He had everything he needed. He had his headphones, he had his controller and all that stuff. But what he forgot to bring was his thumbs. And so he was just absolutely appalling the whole Major. And I don't know, Garen, Ben, do you guys have any thoughts on who you think is deserving of this prestigious award?
Sure. Sorry.
So, I mean, I think it's 04 because like this O showed up, and I mean I don't want to hate on Surge too much because I actually like Surge and stuff. But I mean 04 had a 0.72 KD overall. But the thing that shocked me the most was his control KD was 0.45. Like so I don't know. And I mean obviously he was terrible in both their matches. Like Neptune as well I have here, like he only had a 0.84, and I think he also didn't have a great Major. And even your boy Sib had a 0.78 KD. But I still think 04 was horrendous. He did not turn up for this Major, and I really hope he turns it around at Major or at Champs. But like someone get this guy some thumbs because it was brutal out there, bro.
Oh no! I am going to say Neptune or Sib because so Gary can decide. I'm saying Neptune or Sib because both of those should be the front runners in their team, and they performed poorly. Some of the worst in their team. Priester was doing better than them. That is disgusting.
No way.
Arcities was doing better than them.
Yeah, I will say
Spot.
in terms of
Spot only played
expectations.
one event.
Yeah. In terms of expectations, Sib probably did the worst because he's definitely out of those three is the best player. But I mean, 04, bro, I think Surge might have been better if they showed up in a 3v4. Like, it was awful, dude. He was just wasting lives in control.
So whoever Garen chooses could get the award. It's either Sib, Neptune, or 04.
So Sib may statistically have stunk, but he has aura. You know? So I have to say this award goes to 04.
It carries it matters a lot for Garen. Garen, like, if you have that aura buff, Garen doesn't care what you're dropping. He's like, oh, Sib, well done, Sib.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Garen
04.
wants to be Sib, that's why.
Garen thinks he's
Garen
Sib.
thinks he is Sib.
Have you seen me in game? I'm closer to no one. I'm
closer
to Priester
person, that makes you closer.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 2 more awards to go through for our Major 4 reactions. And so the next one up is Are You My Papa Award. So this is the player who showed up on the weekend and actually played incredibly. Like, they did so well that you were like, sure, is this person my papa? Like, will they be able to lead me through and show me what needs to be done? And so I just want to check, who was your papa for the weekend, Garen?
Wait.
What?
Let's all say it on 3, 2, 1.
What do you want to say your papa was?
One.
Scrap.
Go. Hydra.
Hydra. Scrap. Hydra.
Dude, let's all say it at the same time, guys. We're gonna say the same thing, right?
I thought we were all thinking of the same thing. Sorry, boys.
Yeah.
Okay, so why did you guys say Hydra?
Garen said scrap, didn't he?
I said scrap. Scrap.
Yeah. I was gonna say Scrap is Super's papa.
Did you not see the way Hydra was scolding Super after they beat him, bro? He was scolding him like his papa.
Ghosty was there like, do you know when you watch your siblings get shouted at and then you're just like, don't worry, man, don't worry, it's okay.
It's okay.
That was Ghosty after Hydra laid into him.
For sure. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, there were other players that turned up. I thought Simp had a rough, like, qualifying stage and stuff, but suddenly when it was tournament time, this man was crazy. I mean, I think he had a 1.21 KD by the end of Major 4. So, I mean, I think over the weekend, Simp played really well. I also thought Celium was always as consistent as always. And I mean, I even, like, shout out to Renkor. I mean, I feel like he played really well. He turned up. But I still think, yeah, I mean, for me, the team that won, it has to be between Hydra and Scrap. I do lean towards Scrap. I do agree that Hydra, when he is playing, he is the greatest player on earth. Like, when he is on, like, I'm sure you guys have seen the clips of that, like, 5-piece against FaZe and Control, where he literally just wiped the whole team and stuff. Like, when he is on, he is the best player by far. But I mean, Scrap was the MVP. I feel like maybe he was a bit more consistent. And I mean, I don't know, Scrap a shooter. Like, I'm not saying he's not the best player in the world, because that man just guns these kids down.
Yeah, they're both incredible. I'd also like to give a shout out to Lunas and Slasher for having really nice KDs, but they only play like 5 or 7 maps. So you gotta. I mean, those are some great stats, but then you realize it's only for like.
Only for one round of losers. I will say, like, Slasher, he's probably old enough to be someone's papa. So, like, he realistically could be. But in terms of gameplay, I don't know if I'd give it to him this one.
Thanos not snapping right now.
No. Isn't Jaza, like, actually a father as well?
Yeah, Jaza as a kid, I'm pretty sure.
I guess he's
an actual papa, and he still couldn't turn up, bro. He was scared on Sunday.
And then he's still there.
Simping Abizi.
Yeah.
No, that as well.
He's babysitting 24/7. That's what I actually said. Like, it was when they came onto stage. Like, obviously he's a lot taller than all of them. I was like, yeah, this guy's just babysitting these 3 for their team. Okay, so are we happy? I don't know. I'm saying Scrap, but you guys said Hydra, so I guess we'll go with Hydra.
Yeah. Get wrecked.
Yo, just give it to LA Thieves.
Yeah, they are my papa. Okay, and then our final award, just shout out to Shotzi, this is just the Flow State
Yeah.
Award. So I feel like this is the team that we feel coming out of Major 4 just have momentum, and if they just stay in their flow state, they'll be good to ride it and win champs. I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously LA Thieves is an easy one to pick because they just won, and I feel like they're flowing off that. But I don't know if anyone has any other teams in mind that they think have a chance.
No. 2 words. Green wall. You got Hoop the Nuke, the most cerebral player. You got Shorty, who's always in flow state. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Top 8.
Bottom 8.
That's my top third team.
Your top third team.
or champs, my boy. Top 3.
There's no way. There's no way.
Float State Kings, my boy.
No. So I mean, obviously, I'm a Thieves fan. I believe that they'll go 3-peat and they will win champs. But like, to make it interesting, I really think, based on this final result, if Miami can be a bit more consistent and maybe sort out 1 or 2 things, like, I mean, this placing at the end of Major 4, like, they were looking good. Like, it was competitive against Thieves, FaZe, and them. So I really feel like if they can sort out 1 or 2 things, maybe sort out their consistency, I'm pretty sure they can ride this wave of momentum and maybe make a run. They're my favorites at the moment, I think, outside of FaZe and Thieves, to actually do some damage at
I think
champs.
that's the right answer. Them or Optic.
Okay. So yeah, but I don't know. I think Thieves are just too much of a dominant force at the moment. But I don't even think that, like, it's not even like a flow state thing. They just need to play, and they're just so good, and they're just so talented.
Well, there's always something that could happen. With Trump being in office and all this deportation, he might decide one day
just dip.
he doesn't like the French, and he might just send little Hydro back home, and they won't be able to do anything. He can try connect via online, but I don't think you'll be able to compete with the land, my boy.
Yeah, if that happens, Thieves is flow stating straight to top 8 for sure.
And then Scrap won't look like the best player in the world.
I know, he still will. Scrap's a shooter. He's good. He's fine, I promise. Okay, so who are we giving it to Thieves, or do you guys like another team for?
Give it to Thieves.
I think
what?
I think Miami should get it.
Okay. Yeah, as long as we're not giving it to Optic.
Miami's the right answer.
No.
I would give it to Optic personally, but Miami is a good answer.
The biggest Optic hater here, like, no, they flow stating. They can make it.
I've been supporting them since day 1, my brother.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Optic seems to have figured some things out and are turning the corner, and Ben's like, yeah, I've been there since day 1.
Amen, my brother.
Imagine they go back to back though. Like, from being the worst team in the league
to winning champs. If they do, I don't know, whatever deals they're making with the underbelly, it's worth it, bro. Because
I don't know. Yeah. Actually, Shotty going straight to 1 and 2 on the all-time list if that happens.
Not Garen's. Garen's. He's not happy with that. Okay.
The ring last year doesn't count.
So we'll give it to Miami then. We'll see if they can do some damage at champs. So obviously we're coming towards the end of the regular season, and I thought just before we go into champs, I thought it'd be good to like just give our predictions of who we think are the front runners or the winners of Rookie of the Year and MVP. I think we'll start with Rookie of the Year. For me, it's quite obvious. I think there are some names you can throw in there, but I think someone is running away with it by far. But I don't know. Garen, Ben, do you guys have any strong thoughts on the matter?
I was gonna make a joke, but there's no time for that. I think Rancor is probably our Rookie of the Year. He's been very consistent. He's impacted and helped build Miami to the team they are. He's been very consistent. I think Mercules is a good option, but I don't know if he's made Optic as much of a dominant force. And it's not entirely his fault, but he also hasn't been there for the whole season. So
yeah. And I mean, look at those biceps, bro. Are you telling Rinko he's not the Rookie of the Year, boy? Come on.
He's not Spanish.
So I mean, I agree. I think it's Raincore by far. I think you can throw in names like Super and Mercules into the mix. And I do think obviously Mercules is like turned Optic around and he's looking really good. And obviously he came out of nowhere and got top 3 with Ultra in his first event ever. So that's impressive. But for me, I value, yeah, not that it's his fault, but obviously Renko has been here since the beginning. And I mean, even before they added Super, they still managed to get top 3 at Major 1 in Spain. In Madrid, which was like, yeah, it wasn't expected. And I think Renko has been by far Miami's best player over the whole year, and he's played the whole year. So I definitely have to give him Rookie of the Year. I think you can throw in Super there because obviously Miami dipped a little bit, and then they added Super in, took Lucky out, and they seem to have gone back up to like form and are actually contending again. But I still think even with that like boost of Super coming in, I still think Renko is the best player, and like they sort of need him to pop off. And if he's not, they do seem to struggle. And yeah, he's played the whole year. So I would say he's definitely been the most effective and best rookie by far.
Yeah, I think it's Renko by far. You could say Super, but I think Renko has been in the league longer and doing and performing a lot better for a lot longer.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
And I appreciate like not just impact, but have you been playing the whole season and stuff? Like, because you can just pop in for one major at the end, which your effects might be felt, but have you been there the whole year? Not that it's their fault. I mean, obviously they get called up or not, but I do appreciate more of the longevity within the year of you actually being there the whole time. So that's why I tend to lean towards Renko. Okay, so we all seem to be in agreement with that one. I think it's pretty straightforward. And then the next one is MVP. Who are we feeling for MVP? For me, it's between 3 names, and I have a favorite out of the 3, but I don't know if you guys have any strong thoughts on
I
who's
have one name that instantly comes to the front. You see that number 1 position right there? Who's at the top of the list? Who's at the top of the list? Read the name.
Kicks.
MVP.
Oh, is that how you say it?
Okay. I mean, man was not here for a long time, but he was good. He was here for a good amount of
but
time.
He stayed consistent. No one's broken number 1 spot.
Yeah, it's true. You can't deny that. You can't deny
that. I would say it is probably either Celium, Scrap, and
Hydra, the actual top 3.
I know.
Yeah, the top 3.
Hydra or Simp. Simp was really, really, really good in the beginning, first 2 majors, and I don't know what happened. But I also like to, same thing I think happened with Joe Deceives. I thought he was quite a strong driving force that took Ultra to the next level. But I don't know, he's kind of disappeared or not. They haven't been as much of a contender. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel
happened.
like especially Major 4, they definitely were worse and didn't make as much of a run as we were hoping they would. So yeah, I don't know.
I will say Scrap. Scrap is my MVP. I think Celium would probably be second, and then Hydra. But I think Scrap has been so consistent, and his performances are just every single map, every single event. He's always there.
So Scrap is MVP, but he's not your papa. That's what you're saying.
Who did I say was my papa?
Hydra.
Yeah, but that wasn't for overall. That was just for
no. Fair enough. Garen, what are your thoughts?
I think it should be Scrap, but I feel like the CDL is going to give it to Celium.
I hope not.
But I can't be mad. I feel like either way, regardless of if it goes to Celium or Scrap, I think it's going to the right person. You know?
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I also have the same top 3. It's between Celium, Scrap, and Hydra. I think for me, Hydra's third, and I know we were speaking about this, Garen, like in the group chat and stuff. Is like, I just don't think Hydra has been as good as he was last year and the year before. Like Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, like he was just on another level. Like he was insane. While this year he's had some moments of that, and we've seen the old Hydra, and I don't know if it's just this game that doesn't suit him as well, or if it's just a little bit of growing pains with obviously getting used to LA Thieves and being in a new system and stuff. And he's still been the third best player in the league, in my opinion. So it's not like he hasn't done well. But I just think, I don't think this year is his year for MVP. I really do think it's between Celium and Scrap. The thing for me is Scrap has won 2 MVPs at the tournaments, Major 3 and Major 4. I think he's been the most consistent and the driving force behind Thieves. And Celium,
who won the MVPs?
So Major 1 was Simp, I'm pretty sure, and then Major 2 was Celium.
Celium.
So Celium has won a tournament MVP, but he didn't win both. And also, I mean, it's not just on Celium, but with FaZe, obviously you win Major 1 and Major 2, which is still impressive and they matter. But I still think, obviously, turning up in form and winning the majors at the end of the year matter more. Like you want to find form at going into champs. So that's why I also hold those tournament wins a bit higher. And I think with Scrap being the standout player for both of those, and obviously statistically being the second best player in the league, not the third, because I mean Kicks is not in any real consideration. I do think it's Scrap, and I also think, I mean, I hate it when people say this, I guess, but I think also he's due. Like he's Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, he's been a top 5 player. Like he's definitely due as MVP. Like it should be coming his way, and I feel like this year he's in a star-studded lineup. He's been able to separate himself and show that he is the best. And so I'm leaning Scrap for sure.
But I do also think, I definitely think it's Scrap. Because even when it's like statistically, Celium is great. He's the best. But when you watch Celium play compared to when you watch Scrap and Hydra play, I think it just looks worlds apart. You know?
I mean, they different roles, but I mean, it's different roles. But I do think Scrap and Hydra this year, they've just been shooting. Like the way they've been moving, the gunnies they've taken, it's just been crazy. So no, I agree. Okay, so Scrap for MVP, Raincore for Rookie of the Year. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then the last segment that we're going to be going into is just to chat about overall from a team basis who we think are the biggest winners and losers of the 2025 season. I mean, obviously we've seen a lot of crazy results, a lot of upsets and stuff, but I just want to talk about overall, who we think were the biggest winners coming away from the season and who were the biggest losers for this season.
How many?
I mean, we'll talk about a few, but we'll decide on one, I think. Because I mean, we have to give the mantle to someone. So I think we'll start.
A whole lobby full of losers. I think they should just get out of the league.
I see 10 teams of losers. What's going on here? So I think let's just start with the biggest losers of the 2025 season, and then we'll go on to the winners. So Ben, I don't know who you're feeling. Who's let you down?
There's so many, Joe. I would retire so many players. I would retire so many teams. I can't even tell you. It's disgusting how bad. I would like to say my biggest losers are Falcons and LAG. Definitely. My homies could not even crack 60 points. That is disgusting for a professional team. They did nothing to help them out. Just keep recycling trash. Yeah, that's great. And I don't know. I think Cloud9 had real great potential. They're not as bad as LAG and Falcons, but they were very disappointing still, though. So there are a lot of teams that I would just not want anything to do with.
Okay, just to counter that.
Yeah.
Are Falcons not the biggest winners of the 2025 season?
Yeah, I think so as well.
There was a stage where we thought they weren't even going to win a hard point through. Like we're literally talking about the worst team ever in CDL history that actually ended up winning 3 matches. No, I'm being sarcastic. I don't think they're the biggest winners, but like I wouldn't put them as losers, the biggest losers, because I think expectations were so low for them because they started off with the all Saudi team and it was completely new and all that. Like I really think, obviously they were the worst team, probably the worst team we've ever seen in the CDL, but I think that's what was expected. I think for your LAG, who had Kismet, Skies, Priester, your Cloud9, who had Kremp, Attach, Sib, like I think all of those were big expectation teams and teams that were like had players who'd won before and they still couldn't put it together. And I think they really were I would say bigger losers than Falcons, in my opinion.
No, you're 100% about that. Sorry, Darren, you go.
Oh, I was gonna say, I really do think the biggest losers are C9, because you go from last year coming second, having arguably the best player in the world. You had Sib, arguably top 15 player, or in Modern Warfare 3, he was at least top 10. To now, you're literally 10th. You do still have Sib, but he's probably going to leave this off season because you're not building around him properly.
Yeah.
So, arguably, you go from the best, like the second best team in the league, to not in champs. I think they're the biggest losers.
That fall off is crazy. No, for sure. Ben?
No, you guys are 100% right that I think in terms of what Falcons achieved in the season, obviously they still placed terribly, but the difference is they've set themselves up for a better season next year, potentially. A lot more than Cloud9 and LAG. So I feel like they've got a lot more to look forward to, and I guess they're winning in that sense. If we're just looking at this season with how they performed, they've also sucked. But yeah.
Yeah. But also one thing. I think we're forgetting, because I have another team who's the biggest losers of the year. And for me,
hit us with it, my boy.
I don't know. That green wall has been crumbling, my boy. It has been crumbling. I know they've sort of figured it out at Major 4 or whatever, but if you told me at the beginning of the year that the defending champs who were sticking with the same roster were going to fall off like they did, go on an 0-18 map run, be barely making champs with only coming 7th, and people were legit worried that they wouldn't, that you told me that Pred, Hook, Kenny would be in and out of the lineups, they'd bring Skies in and they'd still look terrible. Like, I think that is the biggest fall off, and I think that is a huge loss. And so I would argue, in terms of expectations, not pure results, because I mean they still seem to have maybe figured it out, and they 7th, and Optic maybe can still make a run. I don't believe it, but maybe. Like, in terms of expectations from where they were securely a top 4 team defending champs, and those are the expectations going into this year, I think they are the biggest losers of this season.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting, really.
I still 100% think it's a playstyle issue, that the Optics system of putting Shorty on an island and letting everyone else cook while he's trying to flank, it just doesn't work for this game.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, they're 7th now, and they're probably not going to do well at champs. So yeah, they are the biggest losers this year. I'm not worried for them coming into the next game if it's a different play style to this, you know?
But it's just going to be Black Ops 6 again. Like, it's going to be, aren't they just they just adding some new maps, and it's going to be the same game again. So I don't think it's changing that much next year. So good luck to them. Okay, Ben, hit us with your biggest winner of the season.
My greatest winner of the season. Let me tell you, brother, it's not an easy one. It's not an easy choice. I think, I don't know. I think it's probably Miami or Thieves, because FaZe have done really well, and their back-to-back was really impressive. But it means less when you aren't winning closer to champs, I think. And seeing Thieves and Miami improve closer and closer to champs, it's really good to see. I think they've obviously put the right pieces together, made changes quick enough, and have kept at it and worked hard. And now they are finally hitting Final Four.
Yeah. No, I mean, I do agree. I mean, why I wanted also to speak about this before champs, because obviously, whichever team wins champs, that obviously makes you a winner of the season. Yeah. So like, I do want to speak about these things before, because I mean, if Optic win champs, then they're not the biggest losers you could argue they're the biggest winners, because champs literally decides that. For me, yeah, I mean, I don't think you can discredit what FaZe has done. with winning 2 majors and going with the three-peat if you include EWC last year, and they still
I
got second
don't.
place in major form. So you can't discredit them, but I do think, I mean, like you said before, they've had the core three of the Tiny Terrors and Celium forever, so the expectations are always for them to be the top team. Why I lean to Thieves is this is the first year that FaZe has not finished first in the CDL standings since it started. Like no one has been
That's
able to
insane.
dethrone FaZe, and Thieves were able to do it. And I think that's pretty impressive. Like I mean, even last year when it was going back and forth with tournament wins and stuff, FaZe still won the regular season in terms of being the first seed, and Thieves were able to overcome that. Even when it looked like Major 1 and Major 2, like maybe they weren't going to win and maybe they hadn't figured it out, we win back-to-back Major 3, Major 4. And yeah, we come top of the standings and we exceed expectations, I guess. So that's what I think. Thieves are the biggest winners. But I had some other teams, but I don't know, Garen, what you feeling?
No, I also think Thieves are the biggest winners. Thieves and Miami, because I think Thieves, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, they weren't a bad team, but they still went out like 8th place at Champs. And then obviously they were rebuilding Modern Warfare 3. So go from a 1-season rebuild into like arguably the best team in the league. I think that's obviously a win.
Yeah, no, gotta be.
And with Miami as well, they went from like a bottom team in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 to again top, or arguably the third best team in Major 4 and in Major 1. So even if Miami doesn't win champs, if they finish champs strong and carry it over into the next game, and they stay a top 6 team, that's a win.
That's a win. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing where the conversation comes in is is the biggest winner the person that has won the most, or is it the person that's like overcome and defied expectations the most? Because I mean, obviously Thieves have won the most and they've done really well with that regard. But that was expected. I mean, you bring in the super team, you expect them to win like this. Well, I feel like Surge and Miami had incredibly low expectations. No one expected anything of them. They make some key roster changes. We have Surge have back-to-back second places in Major 2 and Major 3. Heretics have top 2 in Major 1 and top 3 at Major 1 and Major 4. Like they really came out of nowhere and have defied expectations and exceeded them, and ended up 4th and 5th in the league. So yeah, I don't know. It depends, I guess, what you value more highly. Obviously, I'm a bit biased. I'll lead towards Thieves, but you definitely can make the argument, I think, for Surge and Heretics being big winners of this 2025 season. Ben?
I'm talking about Surge. I don't know. I also thought when Garen was talking about rebuilding and changing that, I think Surge's season is really impressive. I just don't think it's as impressive as I guess this is probably more impressive than Miami. Miami's just had recency bias, I guess. I think that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, I think overall in the season, I would still put Surge above them.
Yeah.
Also, top 2 placings are better, you know.
So I think it'll probably be Thieves, then Surge, then Miami, maybe for winners. Yeah.
I don't know, Garen. Any other thoughts?
I think whoever wins champs doesn't necessarily mean they're the biggest winners, because it's like if FaZe wins champs, it's like you've had the same team for like 5 years now. That's it. At some point, yeah, you have to win another champ. Yeah,
that's wild, but you're not wrong. But I mean, I do think it's going to be interesting because we could have a champs where it's the first time that a team wins 2 champs in the CDL history. Because I mean, we've had different winners every single year so far, And I mean, obviously, Toronto, Surge, Heretics can make a run, but obviously, Thieves and FaZe are the predominant favorites, and they've all won previously. So I'm really interested to see. We could have a first time that we've had a repeat champion in the CDL history.
This is a good segue into champs predictions.
Yes, sir.
All right. I have a thought for you guys. Do you think Scrap will have a total collapse in the finals? Like if they actually get to the grand finals, like they did against Subliners, or do you think that was more just based on Kismet and other players just like outperforming on that day?
I think Scrap in Champs finals, he's going to drop a 3.0 KD.
Yeah. I was going to say, when Scrap was going up against Hydra, Scrap was going up against Hydra. Now he has Hydra.
Now he has Hydra.
Yeah.
Wait. So you're saying that the team that goes up against them must quickly get Kismet on their roster?
yeah, he must be a day sign on. No, I just think I don't know if it's because it was the first year Garen was supporting Subliners. I don't know if Kismet finally decided he wanted to play the game, if the script writers were going crazy.
Guys, turn around.
But it was just too perfect the way it went down with like Scrap insulting the whole team besides Hydra, and then Kismet absolutely slamming him. And I think it was just the better team just turned up on the day, or not even the better team, but one team just turned up more than the other team. And so I'm not worried about Scrap in the finals. I mean, he's proven in all his other finals that he's played well. It's just that one Champs one where they got smacked. So I'm not too worried about him, and I think he'll
Swift in champ finals though.
That was insane. I still dream about it. I'm gonna go watch it back after this.
I remember Garen came around to watch it, and we were like, "Sure, okay, we're gonna be up late. It could be like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning." It was like 10 o'clock because it was done in 2 hours, and Garen went home because it was done like so quickly.
Good riddance that Garen went home, but it was a quick match.
But yeah,
damn.
All right, let's go through the predictions then. All right. Order in the court, man. All right. Number 8 is Boston because as even though they caught fire and placed well at points, they haven't been consistent. At 7, it's Ravens because they are a poor team, and I want Slasher to retire, and I don't want TJ to be in the scene anymore. I want Gwyn to go play Minecraft online because you can only play online. 6 is Ultra because as much as I want them to be a top 3 team, especially towards the end, it hasn't really planned out like that. I don't know why, but the success has not been there. Surge, I don't have faith in Surge placing that high and getting to the finals, especially with their last performance. I think the momentum has fizzled out. Optic, my team, my vibes, my grace. I think Optic will do a much better this Champs tournament and ride the momentum and place top 4. I think even though they haven't fixed all the problems, I think they are in a better position now to compete. Heretics, they are definitely a top 3 team right now, and I think this placing accurately reflects that. Thieves, this 1 and 2 battle is a tough one. Like I said, head says Thieves, but heart is red, my bro. Actually, they're both red. So,
heart is red, my bro.
But they both red, bro.
I want another championship for the homies, bro. I want another championship for the homies. Yeah, that's my list done.
Never list again, Ben. Optic at 4 is crazy.
No, not even crazy, Garrett. It's just wrong. It's just wrong.
Hey, you know what they say? You're not wrong. You're just early, and they're all red, my boy.
Yeah.
Okay, go to the next one, Garrett. I'm done hearing this one's list.
My list. Carolina, bottom team. Call them the bottom G's. flipping TJ must join Weezer again. Go sing some Buddy Holly, you know? Boston, Boston's kind. I think the only reason they're really in champs is because they went on a run in Major 2. If it wasn't for that run,
yeah, if they didn't take out Thieves winners round
yeah.
1, bro.
Yeah, they didn't take out Thieves. They would also be a bottom team. I think Optic, you have Shotzi, you have Dashi. I think they do have the capacity to make a run, but at the same time, I have zero faith in them. No offense, Optic. Yeah.
This list just looks all wrong, my boy. All wrong.
Yeah. No, I think Ultra's okay. I think Ultra has been consistently like the 5th best team.
They've been consistently there. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they're better than Surge, nor do I think they're better than Miami. So I think I'm just putting them slightly below those two. I do also think I know Miami beat LA Thieves in winners semis, but I just don't see.
It was because of the gunship. It was because of the gunship.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
it might be copium. I just don't see them
repeating that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like 2 seconds left when he called it in. The Cruise wasn't going to do anything. I still think Surge has the best chances of beating I don't think they have any chance of beating LA Thieves, but I think they have a good chance of beating FaZe if they the matchup in the finals. And then LA Thieves FaZe, you saw last week what happened, you know?
I know. I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
Art says FaZe, bro. They all red, brother.
Ben's only saying it's FaZe because he's got some FaZe merch incoming. We all know it's Thieves. Come on.
I just don't want Thieves to win.
You don't want to see Scrap get his first championship?
No.
You don't want to see Hydra get another?
No. He's dead to me.
He ruined my life. He left Sublime. Okay, let's go to the next one. I'm assuming we saved the best for last.
Oh my man.
Okay.
I think
Caroline. Now that's good. You know why? Because that's how little respect I have for them. Don't even write their name right, Garen, because they are garbage. I think besides being like good at Major 1 when everyone is still figuring out the game, Carolina have just fallen from grace and they're still falling. And I guarantee you they're going to be the first team out of champs. Like, they're just not very good. Boston, I think their ceiling is top 6. Like you said, they made a run in Major 2, which helped them a little bit. But I really don't have faith that they are better than any other team on this list. And so I think they're going to be 7th. I put Ultra at 6th because just for the storylines. I mean, there was all this stuff with... obviously, when Mercury showed up in Major 3 and they did really well and he was looking great and they were all like, no, keep him. Like, you should let go of Beans or whatever. And they decided to stick with Beans, which I don't think is an issue. Like, Beans was playing well.
I should have dropped Jamie Craven.
But now, I mean, Mercury's at Optic and he's been popping off. So, like, you know, for the storylines, Ultra's got to crumble and Optic's got to go at least above them just for the storylines.
Fair enough.
And I also think Ultra has the most overrated SMG in the game, Kleenex. Like, I don't have faith in him. I know Ben loves him, but I'm not on the Kleenex hype train. Fifth, I think, as well, the ceiling for Optic. I think they have figured it out, and I think they'll do better. But I think the only reason they got top 4 at Major 4 was because Surge bombed out. I think they will get top 5 because I have faith that Surge will figure it out. Then 4th, Miami. I still think they could make a run, and it would be interesting to see if they do, but I do think they'll come 4th. And Surge, I think this was just a once-off thing. I really do think they'll bounce back and figure things out. They have a whole month to prepare for champs, so I'm not worried. I definitely think Surge will be back to top 3. But I mean, as champs, FaZe and Thieves, I think FaZe will be there. They'll make sure they make Sunday. They'll make sure they make the finals. But we do know their history in finals. And I mean, Thieves are back-to-back Major 3, Major 4. I mean, they're there for a reason. They have Scrap, they have Hydra, They have my faith, and yeah, my heart is red for sure.
They have
Thank you, Ben.
Ghosty.
They have Ghosty, Mr. Dan Ghosty, and they have Envoy.
Yo, dang Daniel.
Dan. So yeah, that's my
Daniel
list.
Ghosty.
I do think it's correct. Thank you, everyone.
Well, I think there are some good lists, some bad lists, and some terrible lists. I know where mine stands, but yeah, good job, guys. Got some special plan for all the listeners out here. Some time, some effort has been put into this. We're introducing the first ever. So we got Shorty time. It's the first time we're doing this. It's going to be a fun segment where we'll be doing some challenges, some discussions, some debates, some drafts. Maybe we'll see where it goes. This is the first one. All right. Oh.
Oh.
All right. First segment is, should this player be in the league? We have Priester first. Should they be in the league? Yes or no?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
When Priest is in the league and he kills someone, you have the line P-Dog just pee-peed on him. And just for that potential, he has to be in the league. Yeah?
I don't know if it's worth seeing him put on a bad performance every single day of his life. I think I want him to retire.
Yeah.
I mean, not even should they be in the league. The last 2 years, should Priester still be in the league? I don't know, bro. Like, obviously, you won in Modern Warfare 2 with Subliners, but I would argue you could have popped anyone as the fourth option in that team and they would have won. Like, I don't think Priester was doing anything. I know he gave us the classic line from Maven or Miles. It was like, "That's P-Dog, he needed pee-pee in his face." Like, that was peak time. So I think that was the most that Priester has given us over the last 3 seasons. We really should forget about this man. Since Black Ops 4, he has not been great. And we need to see some new talent.
I'd say definitely no, right?
Yeah, definitely no. Send him out, bro. Send him out.
All right. Next one. Should this player be in the league? Scump. What do you think?
I don't know.
No? You don't want to see the king return?
Thing is, I don't think it's a fact of Scump not being able to play. I think he'd still come into this league and slam. Like, I still think he has the talent and stuff. I just don't like it when people retire and unretire and retire and unretire or whatever. Like, that just, like, it's a bad vibe in my head. Like, if you're done, you should be done. But I also think him coming back, I don't think it would necessarily be as glamorous as everyone thinks. Like, you know, when Optic was doing really badly and there was like, apparently they were talking about making changes and they even thought about bringing Scump in. Like, I don't think he would have just jumped in and dropped a 1.2. I mean, he's been out of the game. I think he'll be rusty coming in.
Don't disrespect the king. He can do whatever he wants.
But yeah, I don't know. I think he can do it. I just don't know if it's necessary.
I really like Scump. I really like him. I think he's great. But when he comes back, if he came back during Optic's poo-poo stretch, he was going to drop a 0.4.
And he was going to get slammed and it was going to ruin his legacy. Yeah. Not ruin, but like it wouldn't have added to it.
Yeah.
I think the king would be running it back and I think he'd be dropping a 2.0 with Mercules at his side, my boy. I think you guys don't have the faith.
But Scump wouldn't even come back as an SMG. He'd come back as an AR. So he'd be taking
he's number one overall, the greatest player of all time. He's my number one.
You literally have Crimsix as number one, but okay.
Then maybe if we were playing in the league, he could drop come back and drop a 5 KD.
He's dropping a 10 KD, bro.
Yeah.
Alright, so yes or no?
0 there. Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I don't need it.
Garen, yes or no? Alright, next one. Should this player be in the league? Slasher.
I think he should.
Why?
I think he's a good enough player to where if he's on a team where they need a veteran and someone to do like consistently okay, Slash is their guy. I think I don't think in Modern Warfare 2 when he was a phase, that's not the best example because he was kind of stinking it up. But if you put Slasher right now on a team like if you put Slasher on instead of Nasty for Surge, I think they 100 times better. Maybe not 100, but I think they're better. You know,
Maybe not 100.
maybe not 100, but I
Joe,
think they're
what
a
you
lot
think,
better.
homie?
My question is there anyone better that you think could replace Slasher?
Oh, just anybody. I just need new blood. I just need anybody.
I do agree that we're in a league where they just like to recycle old names that actually don't do anything and don't add contenders. I don't know if Slasher is one of those because I also don't think he's the problem on Ravens. I think there's internal and chemistry issues. I don't think he's the outright problem. And I don't think if you just threw him out and added another AR that it would fix that.
But it
But I
would
mean,
definitely be a start. I agree. It would be a start.
But I do agree. Like, I mean, we've seen this year with Super, with Mercules, people actually took chances on new players and they actually panned out. But then the counter to that is like they brought Lunas in, who was like the best player in challenges, and he's been really average. So it's a tough one. I don't care. That's probably the biggest thing. If he stays, if he leaves, it's the same.
So yes or no?
Let's go with yes. He can. No, no,
Oh,
He
yeah,
no,
should
no.
stay.
no. He should.
I agree,
No,
no.
he should be out of the league. Sorry, I meant that.
No, Slasher.
Bye, Slasher. See you later.
Bye-bye, Slasher. Bye-bye.
Should this player be in the league? Neptune.
Undoubtedly, yes.
But they've won nothing.
Ben, if that's our criteria for why people shouldn't stay in the league, or 10 out of 12 teams are getting wiped this year.
But I'm all for that.
Bro, I don't know how you can say this guy shouldn't be in the league where he literally joined Surge and turned them from a bottom 10 team to a top 3, top 4 team, and has probably been the spark plug and the best player on that team. Without a doubt.
Gaza, I don't like this guy yelling at me, so you tell me what you think, Gaza.
But I think he should stay in the league.
That's quite
a question
enough.
of will he? I don't know. I know Black Ops 7 is going to be similar to this game, so he might be able to. But if he doesn't have the track record of staying in the league,
sounds like I should leave this league, my boy. So yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, he should stay in the league. Should this player be in the league? Uncle Jonah! Does he make the cut? I don't know. He's from Aiden and the Boys, and he apparently might have a 2.0 KD. That's unheard of. I don't know about that.
Yeah. The question is, he's averaging a 2 KD while still carrying absolute bombs.
Bonkers,
So
yeah.
I think just off of it basically being a 1v4, he should.
Joe, what do you think? Should this character make it onto the league, my boy?
This caught me so off guard. Like I wasn't expecting this at all. I don't know. The only thing I can bring up is I remember, like, there was a time when he was playing with 2 other teammates, Cold Panda and Baby Hippo, and like, I don't know, they used to tune him a lot about like not getting hill time and just playing for kills and all that. So I don't know. Like,
I did hear that as well. He's not really an objective player.
That's the point. I can hear the stats there, but like the team didn't seem to always be too happy with how he was playing and going around and stuff. But then again, I mean, there's also like there's rumors about one time he 1v12'd in Control. Like I don't know, like things like that happened. Like I don't know. Like man was rotating. Man was breaking the hill. Man was holding the hill.
Rotating, breaking,
man was slaying. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is Uncle Jonah just wants to play with the boys again. That's all I know. CDL or not, he wants to be there. You know,
I back it. Put him in the league. Take out Slasher. Take out Neptune. Any of them. I agree. So what do we think? Yes or no? Huh?
Yeah, let him take a run at it. Let him take a run at it.
You probably do better than Scum.
All right, that's the last player from Should This Player Be in the League? Let's move on to our second and final segment for Shorty Time.
Shorty Time, yeah.
We have start, bench, and retire. There will be 3 players that we will need to discuss and debate and choose who should start, who should be benched, and who should be retired. Let's see. We have Fella,
Retire.
Arcites,
Oh, no.
and Spot. You guys choose. Best of the best.
I thought I had my answer locked in. And then the second guy came up and I was like, oh no.
Okay, wait. Is this based on like the CDL or just vibe?
It can be based on who can eat the most
Yeah,
cereal,
based on
the
if we go to
CDL.
Dunkin' Donuts, bro, I know who we're starting.
It's based on Call of Duty, man.
That's me. That's me. Bro, no, Ben, what is this three that you've chosen?
This is for debate, Roger.
By default, Spot is starting, and I don't want to hear it. Spot is starting.
I don't know about that,
we are benching Arcites, and then malnourished fellow is retiring straight away.
I think that's the only correct answer. Arcites, I don't think should be in the league. Fellow should definitely not be in the league, so he has to retire. So Arcites has to be benched, and Spot can start. I don't think that's a great start, but.
Bro, what is this picture of Arcites though?
I think it's a Photoshop picture. It's not real, right? They must have taken an old picture and changed the shirt, or maybe they put him on King of Body's body or something.
King of Body.
We're happy with that.
Move along. This three is appalling.
To the next one. Hydra, Simp, Joe Deceives.
Sorry, Joe Deceives. You
got in the right order already. That's what I'm gonna say. The pictures are in the right order already.
Ben, are we doing
is it an easy one
or is it overall?
I don't know. Overall. It's overall. It's forever. If you're making a team. Based on past performance, based on future hope.
If I'm making a team, Simp's number one. I'm sorry.
Nah. It depends on who the second SMG is. Because if there's no Abizi, I don't want to.
But we can all agree. We can all agree that Joe Deceives is retiring on the spot, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. He's got that Native American blood in him. So who knows?
Okay, that's wild. Okay, so I don't know. This is tough. Like Joe Deceives out of here is so easy, but between Simp and Hydra,
Simp might be the better player to build around, but I don't know the intangibles that Hydra.
If we are talking about the
crazy.
highest peak of an SMG, I think it's Hydra. But Simp has 2 MVPs, 2 World Championships, and he has been the best SMG in the league. Hydra has won an MVP, but Simp is the best SMG in the league, without a doubt.
And he's got a worse finals record than LeBron.
Yeah.
But I'm no. Like as much as it hurts me, at the moment it's Simp 1, it's Hydra 2nd. So Hydra's
agree with that.
Hydra's benching. I'm sorry.
Gary?
I think it depends on the game and like who's with him, because I feel like Hydra's still playing crazy well, and that's with Envoy as his sub duo. He carried Kismet.
Yeah.
He carried Kismet as his sub duo as well.
It didn't take much, but you convinced me. Hydra number 1.
So it's like, yeah, Simp is great. He should be the starter, but I feel like because Simp has had a busy for so long,
he can't do anything else.
Yeah, he can't do anything.
Hydra start.
My counter for that is he's been with the BZ all this time, yet he's been able to show and elevate himself that he's won 2 MVPs in CDL history, which no other player has done. And even though he has a BZ, he still shows that he is the best.
And he
SMG
still can't win. So why he's going to bring that losing to my new team? I don't want that.
Yeah. It's like.
But what about Simp and Uncle Jonah SMG duo?
Oh, okay. Then Simp starts.
Then I'd retire all these players to get Uncle Jonah.
I don't know.
All right.
I'm going Simp start, bench Hydra, retire Joe Deceives. But
so Garen and I are in consensus that start Hydra, bench Simp, retire Joe Deceives.
Amen, brother.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Scump, Karma, Crim 6.
Bro, what's that picture of Krim?
Why is Krim wearing phase, bro?
I think he does esport racing,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not mistaken.
He's an esport
As
racer.
if for phase. But he does actual
Yeah.
racing now. He does real life racing now.
Oh, real life even. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
What are we thinking, Garen?
Ben just
Start,
wants me.
bench,
I know why
retire.
Ben chose this.
Yeah.
Ben just wants me to say something specific, and that's why he chose this.
I think you start Krim, you bench Scamp, you retire Karma. Bye-bye.
Joe?
Oh. I know what you want me to say, Ben, and I'm gonna say it. I'm retiring Karma. Karma is retiring, unfortunately, out of the three. And although I have Crim 6 as my COD GOAT and he's number one over all time, I think I'm starting Scump and I'm benching Crim 6. I think.
Why?
If I was starting a team in these people's prime, not right now, I think I'd choose Karma to start. But if it's based on where he is right now, he would be retired because I don't think he's in the place to carry my team.
Even all time, I think.
Really?
I think I'm doing the same thing as I'm doing now.
That's crazy. Disrespecting my GOAT out there.
You told me once you didn't even have Karma in top 4 all the time.
He only has one ring in my opinion, but that's my GOAT right there.
Okay.
So I'd start Scump, I'd bench Crim 6, and I'd retire Karma.
Yeah.
Happy? Alright, that was an easy one. Let's do Scrap, Celium, Ghosty, an AR battle.
Cheers, Ghosty. Cheers, my bro.
Is this all time? Is this all time or just this game?
All time.
Is all.
Start Celium, bench Scrap,
yeah,
retire Ghosty.
No, I think that's the.
Ben always chooses two really close people, and then the third person is just this rando. Like Ghosty, unfortunately, he's out of here so quickly.
You don't like Danny D the glue?
I love Ghosty. But in these three, he's out so quickly. He's out so quickly. Unfortunately,
I don't know about that, my brother.
And Celium,
I would start
all time is just
really.
I'm putting Celium as well.
But the stat pads like Uncle Jonah used to do.
How many regular season MVPs does Scrap have?
Yeah,
he's been in the league a lot.
He's about to have one. He's about to have one. So then he's tied with Celium.
I think if we're going just this game, I think it's easier to make an argument to start Scrap, bench Sal.
Yeah, if you're going just this game.
Yeah, I think that's the correct answer. But if you're going all time, I
Celium's clear. He's clear.
Yeah.
Number one.
My homies, I'll put the order right there for you guys. No matter the answer, Scrap first, Celium second, retire Ghosty.
Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Recency bias.
Can we just talk about how thick Scrap's neck is? It's like
he's a giraffe, my boy. Yo.
But not just that. His neck is in line with his ears.
You should have seen Joe's student card when he was at university. It made him look like he had the biggest upper body in the world. It was just a like cut off here. And knowing Joe, he's a skinny little child, you know.
Okay, skinny little child is kind of brutal.
Joe, we've all seen you, bro.
Yeah.
Remember that picture of short little Joe standing with Ben and Garen?
Oh, at the baseball. I look like a child there, bro. And I'm the tallest out of the three of us. That was so funny.
Is this the last one? I don't know. I think it is. Sensor. King of Body. Lunas.
We start phase Doug Sensor Martin.
Is this full pull-up challenge?
I wish.
Yeah, without a doubt you start Doug Phase Sensor Martin. Well, Phase Doug Sensor Martin.
Is that ironically or true?
Did I stutter?
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Without a single doubt. You start Phase Doug Sensor Martin. Look at that sleeveless, Ben. You pull up to that on Champs. You crying, my boy. You crying.
I actually would start Sensor though.
You starting Sensor. Then you benching King of Body because he's got a mustache. And so you out here.
I swear King's holding me faint. Is it? I hope that's not racist to say. But
Nah. I don't know. I think start Sensor, bench Lunas, and King of Body. Sorry, my boy. You tried.
Yeah.
You tried. We were tying you on the spot. If Kicks was here, he'd be starting. Sorry, my boy.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Everyone happy?
Yeah, shout out
Alright.
Dave. Doug Sensor, my boy.
I think that concludes our
Shouty time.
Shorty Time segment, first ever.
Ben,
was
I'm
good, Ben.
surprised you didn't do a start bench cut, me, you, and Aiden.
Yo, someone is getting retired so quickly. I'm not saying who it is.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's hilarious. Okay, but I think that brings us to the end of the episode. Hey guys, anybody have anything else they want to say?
Yeah. Comment who you think should be in the league if you're still here on the vid. Comment.
And yeah, get ready for Chabs, boys. He's running it back. Let's do this.
I hope not. They're all red.
The hot red.
How's your about to be a two-time champ?
Phase up, phase down. Phase so down.
I'm ready, my boy. I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, that's with an outro.
Yeah.
Slap us with an
boys.
outro.
Like, I don't know. Keep that gunny hot. Keep the chally going, and pop the daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.
See you
Thanks
guys
for joining
next time.
us.
Cheers, everyone.
Have a good week.